Hello, I've got a few jobs that need doing in the greenhouse just now. I thought I'd do them this morning before the sun really gets up and it gets too hot in here. And I thought you might like to see what I'm going to be getting up to. So let's go take a look. So I've got a few bits in seed trays here that are needing potting up. What have I got? I've got tomatoes, some chilies, some aubergine, cucumber, gherkin and Mexican gherkin, which is something we've not tried before, which should be quite interesting. They're kind of a cross between a melon and a cucumber, and they're about the size of like a gooseberry. Don't really know what they're going to taste like, but yeah, just thought we'd try something different and see what they're all about. So yeah, I'll get started on potting up and show you what I'm doing now. Okay, the first thing I'm going to put out are our tomatoes. Got a few different varieties here. What have we got? We've got Sweet Million. I've got Sun Gold, Grandad's Delight, and Big League. So they're all our tomatoes, and rather than pot these up, what I've got in the greenhouse here is a big trough that runs the full length of the greenhouse. So I'm just going to directly plant them straight into this trough to save the bother of keep planting up. It's exactly the same compost I would be using if I was going to be potting it up. So rather than going to the bother of just potting up, I'll just put them straight in here, and this seems to work pretty well for us. So that's what I'll do first of all. So I'll start by planting Big League, and what I've done is I've set a string line up in my trough here, so I get nice neat rows of tomatoes, and I'm going to space them about 1 foot apart. So there's a tomato plug, and I'm just going to scrape a small hole in the compost and pop him in there. Push it in nice and firm, and I'll just repeat that process all the way down the string line. I've got a little stick here that I'm using as a spacer that I'll lay down next to the string line, and that's 1 foot long, so that gives me a nice even space between the plants. And then when I come to do the back row here, I just stagger it so as the first plant's here rather than right next to it there, so as you're still getting that nice foot space in between each plant. So I'll quickly just fire all these in. Okay, that's the tomatoes planted now. All I need to do is take away my string line and give them a good soaking. Okay, next on the list is aubergine. Now my aubergine have been attacked this year by mice, unfortunately. I've still probably got about half a dozen or so salvageable plants, which is plenty for us really. We always sow far more seed than we need for this sort of reason, really, because of slugs and other pests that might get hold of our seedlings. So I'm potting these up a little bit sooner than I would like to, but I'm doing that, like I say, because of the mice. I really want to get them into a bigger pot, so I'm going for something actually quite a bit bigger, and it's quite a large pot I'm using because the mice will maybe struggle a little more to get up this size of pot because of the overhang. So again, rather than I would normally pot these up into a pot, I don't know, like a 9 centimeter pot or something, just not much bigger than what they're in already. But I'm gonna go for a much bigger pot than I'd like to. But again, it's the same compost I would be potting it up into, so it will just save me having to pot them up again and again. But the main reason I'm doing it with these is because of the mice. So you can see here that this has just been nibbled, and there's a good few. Look, you can just see here, there's nothing left of that at all. So the quicker I do this, the better. Okay, so that's my aubergines potted up now. You'll see I've also put the pots in drip trays here and filled them with water. This will help stop the mice from climbing up on the pots and having a bit of a nibble. Also, obviously, it keeps the soil nice and moist, which saves us having to water them sort of every day or every other day. So that's the aubergines done. I think I'll go on to the gherkins and cucumbers next.